It's a Ryobi cordless vacuum cleaner with 2 spare filters. And full of dust. From what I remember of the advert for this, it's faulty in the sense that sometimes it wants to switch on, sometimes it doesn't, and it looks like somebody's already had a look, because that's been cut there, so it looks like the person who's selling it didn't quite tell the truth about it, in the sense that they didn't tell me they'd opened it, but judging by this I think they must have done. But we'll see anyway, so that's what it is. Right, well, there was a filter in there, one of these was in there. I've just taken that out and thrown it away because it was filthy. This bit looks like the same sort of thing you get on coffee machines, just a very fine mesh. I guess what we need to do is find a battery and turn it on and see what happens. Right, here we go. Right, battery. Oh! I'm not touching anything. What does that do? Not sure what that does. Ah! Oh no, no, it's still doing it. Oh well, there you are then, you see, so the switch is temperamental. The switch is on full time. So we need to find out why. I just went to undo the screws in this and they're in so tight I can't undo them. So I'm having to... Started off, I've tried 2 different cordless screwdrivers and they won't... You can see it's really... Oh! It's really, really tight. That is just... I've never known how you can get screws that tight into plastic. I do not know. Crikey. Oh, hopefully I've loosened them enough to get the screwdriver to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, maybe that doesn't reach. We can't do that one like that one, it's too deep. That was loose, that was that one. Is that too deep? No, that's done, so this must be the last one. That's too deep as well. I need some longer screwdriver bits. The longer ones that I've got are too fat to go in the hole. Right, there we are then, so that's 8 screws out. Does this thing just pop apart? Can't see any extra clips. Something is still holding it at the front here. Oh, you can see someone has been in there before. They've levered that apart there. So this has definitely been apart. So why does that not come apart when you get to that stage? So when you get to there, it stops. Is it something to do with these catches? I wonder if it's something to do with those catches, because there's nothing around the edge of this. It's free there, but it won't go any further there. So do you need to push those in for it to pop apart? Can I push them in with my fingers? Is that putting on that? No. So perhaps whoever tried taking it apart gave up when they got this far. It definitely comes apart to there, but something is not happy here, and the only thing it can really be is something to do with that, surely. Now, how can I make that stay? I need that to stay down below the surface, I'm guessing. That's below the surface there, but I haven't got enough hands. Let's try. Are these connected? Sort of. Right, can we get that? And that's still not gone right down as low as that one. But if we get to there and we put that in there, does that give us any more movement? You can see somebody's been in here trying to do exactly what I'm doing. Oh. That is bizarre, isn't it? There's definitely something here, and I should imagine it definitely is this. Oh. So, but even with that one pressed down like that, oh! It seems like it should be related to this, doesn't it? But because when that goes forward, that presses that down, but it's not pressing it down far enough for that to pop apart. Are we nearly getting there? Oh, we're getting a bit further, aren't we? So maybe that's... So why aren't you going any further down than that? Try again. What on earth is causing that? It's starting to come apart. I hate the way it's making those strange clicking noises. Oh, there we go. Oh, you got hair. Right, let's put that over there out the way a moment. Oh, we've got even more hair in there. And then so was that out of position perhaps? So that's obviously meant to do something with that. So the entire motor fan assembly, that's just it. That's your vacuum cleaner. What on earth does it need all this for? What's all that? That's some sort of micro switch. Oh, I see. So that's to detect when the front is on. So when you push the nozzle on, so presumably it's not supposed to work unless the nozzle is on. So that the nozzle goes on, that pushes that micro switch in. Right, here's our battery. Oh, the switch is a joke. Look at, I mean, that is unbelievable. So they're using that circuit board and then one of those silly little electric switches. That. I can't believe that. That is just ridiculous. I don't understand. What is this bit for? looks like it ties into this micro switch, which is going to refuse to come out by those things because it's a... God, that's a tight fit in there. Right, so that comes out there. That comes out there. Note to self that the wire's just a mess down there. That's obviously all the spare wire just gets tucked down there. Right, they all go down there. They go under the motor. Oh look, we've got a little... Is this one of those sales protection things? If you try and steal it from the store, the alarm goes off. Is that what that is? Do not wrench. Oh. Oh, don't know what that is, but never mind, we're not interested in that. Right, so then we need this to come out. Right, so that goes round there. The orange wire goes through here. I'm not sure what that little orange wire's for. Something to do with this circuit board, I should think. So that needs to lift up. That lifts up. And then does this lift up? Oh, that can lift up. Right, what do we call on now? I think we're more or less all three. Ah, just caught there. Right. So get that out of the way. Right, and then that's it. And here. I just can't. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's basically what you find in all Hoovers, that funny little spinny thing. So it's nothing clever at all, and that's been connected to what is basically an 18-volt motor. It probably says on it which one it is. No, can't make out what one it is because I don't recognise any of those numbers. But obviously, so that's just a little 18-volt motor. That, I don't really understand what the point of that is. It's... Ah! Oh, it's another... So that's what it is. So that's your battery. That would allow you to put another battery on. Oh, you learn something new every day. Right, that's the micro switch. So it can take two different batteries by the looks of things, whatever that means. Or maybe something's meant to plug onto it, does it? Don't know. And then, I don't know if there's something wrong. Is that... Can't tell if these ICs are, or whatever that, I don't know what they are. Well, they might be MOSFETs. But anyway, so is it this switch that's gone wrong and jamming it on, or is there some other reason? Let's have a little look in there and see. I mean, the motor's just going to work, isn't it? Right, I'm guessing that these are just pushed on. I don't know, they might have put a spot of glue behind them, I suppose. But if I can just pull those up. Let's find some forceps that are round on the tips. Those are round. Yeah, so I don't think they've used any glue, so that's always a good sign. So that just lifts out. That there just lifts out. What's this? That might be able to stay in there while we wash it. So that's that one. Because obviously it's going to be much easier to get all this hair off of here if I can lift these up first. Yep, and that's out. And again, a little bit of sponge in the middle there. And then what does that? That pops out, so that's just like a little window. Let's pull these little springs off, because I still remember the time I lost one of these down the sink. Right, that's that. So that's that. So I think all of this lot, bits, tiny bits of sponge, all the hairy bits, all these bits I'll go and give a wash in some hot soapy water. Right, I've just given this a good blow all over with a compressed air because I don't want it to get wet. This was the hardest bit. It's not 100% clean, but it's a lot better than it was. And I've blown out inside the motor as well, so that's all a lot better. So what we need to do now, of course, is find out what's happening with this and that. Now, that I'll have to try and hold up in the air. I'm assuming that goes on that way. So if I... Ooh, and there it goes. So obviously it's still... gives quite a kick. I wasn't expecting that to kick so hard. Ouch! And the fan can hit your fingers. Ow, that hurt. Right, so that's still jammed on, which is odd because I thought this might have been something to do with it working. So what on earth is that? Right, I'm still not sure what this is supposed to be for, but we could do a continuity check across it. Right, no continuity, close, and we've got continuity. So it's working, whatever it does. So that's working, whatever it does. Now, what's the situation with this switch? I'm still suspicious of them, but let's see what the switch does. Is that? I'm not sure if it's from there to there, or there to over there. Let's try connecting. Oh. Right, that says we've got continuity across to there, but of course they might actually be connected there. Let's try this one. That says we've got continuity across to there. So, what's the situation if we go this way? Here. Oh, that's strange. We've got a... What have we got a reading? I mean, surely we'd either have continuity or we wouldn't. Must be reading something else in circuit, I guess. Same thing there. Now, can we hold that onto there, that onto there? Oops. I need to hold those two together and press the button. Right, I hope you're watching the meter and I hope it's in shot at the moment. Press the button, gone down to 0. Press the button, gone down to 0. So it looks like the button is working. So although the switch appears not to be working, it's obviously not a faulty switch. Right, this is the spot that I'm suspicious of, so I'm going to put some isopropyl alcohol on there and give this a bit of a clean so I can get a better view. I don't know how well it will show. Right, I don't know how well you can see that. I won't know until I look back at the video, so if it's terrible then it's terrible. But this looks all burnt. All in there is all sort of black and nasty looking. There is all black and nasty looking. And if I get it on edge like this, and again I don't know how well you can see on the video, but the edge along there doesn't look as if it's attached properly, so I think this is completely cooked, and it wouldn't surprise me if the one next to it is cooked as well. My best guess is that they're MOSFETs. I mean, I'm not an electronic engineer, but my guess best is that's what they are. So I'll try and clean it a little bit and see if I can work out what numbers are on them. Right, I can't be sure, but as far as I can tell it's got IR with this funny sort of symbol thing in the middle, H7446, D621P, 5FAD. I'm not too sure about this bit, it's very difficult to read. And there are two of these and they seem to be identical, so I need to find out what is that. So internet search, here we come. You could call this a sort of action replay because there is no way that I was going to be able to show this and do it at the same time, although I know some people do, but somehow I've got to get my hand round the camera. What I did was I heated this top MOSFET here, and the other reason why I'm not showing this real time is that all the time I was heating this, it took about 2 minutes to actually get this to the point where I could just about get in here with the tweezers and lift it off. So that's what I did. I lifted that one off, and then this one, because the board by now had got some heat on it, this one only took about a minute or so, and again I got in here with the tweezers and lifted it off. And then I went in with some solder wick and cleaned the pads as best I could manage, which is not brilliant, but it's, like I say, the best I could manage. Now the other thing that is not clear, and I'm not even sure if you can see it, is that just there at the end of these tweezers is an LED, and obviously I'm heating here, so I don't know if I've done any damage to that LED. I'm assuming that when you press the button the LED lights up, but obviously I have no way of knowing that. Now these two are the MOSFETs, and I have found them, but the only place I could find the same numbers was on AliExpress, so I've ordered a couple of these MOSFETs. I've never tried to solder MOSFETs onto a circuit board before, so whether that's going to work when they arrive I have no idea, but that's what I'll have a go at doing. As far as I can tell, most of the circuitry on here is simply a sort of latch system, so that you press this, it latches and the motor comes on. You press this again, it unlatches and the motor goes off. There's a fuse there, and I've tested that for continuity and it does seem to be intact, so the fuse seems to be okay. So really I'm not 100% sure where to go from here. What I might try doing is putting the battery back on now that these are gone and see what happens with the motor, because presumably with these gone there is now no power going through. I've got the battery. Now obviously previously if I put this onto here it would start up straight away. Hopefully it won't start at all now because the MOSFETs are gone and it's the MOSFETs that are actually making the thing run. I'm trying to make sure my fingers are well clear because I've still got a cut thanks to that fan motor. Right, so nothing, so that's at least a good sign, and then the button does nothing. So just possibly taking those two MOSFETs off has at least shown us that they are the fault. Whilst searching about these MOSFETs on the internet, I discovered what this is all about. And apparently this was for a wall charger, so that you can hang the device on the wall and it would permanently charge through the wall charger. So that's what that's all about. So in effect it's got the battery supply, which you can charge the battery, or you can leave the battery in all the time and charge it with the wall charger. I didn't know that, and I haven't got the wall charger. Right, there's our two little MOSFETs. If I put this onto continuity, touch the probes together. Now I'm not sure which bits are which on here, but this pad obviously connects to all 4 pins on this side, so this is all one thing. Now I think 3 of these are the same and one's different, but if we connect to that one we've got a direct connection. That one we've got a direct connection, That one we've got a direct connection, and that one we've got a direct connection. Now I'm pretty sure these things are not supposed to have a complete through connection like that constantly, because they're supposed to switch on and off. So let's try this one. So if we go from here to there, we've got a direct connection, to there, a direct connection, there and there. So my guess is that both of these MOSFETs are blown and that power can just go straight through, and that would explain why the motor was on all the time. Now as far as I can tell, there's no ramping up, so in other words you don't press the button and then get a speed and then press it again and get more speed. The button seems to work purely as an on-off switch, so these are either on or they're off. These are what I took off. And hopefully these are replacements. But like I say, the only place I could get them was from China, and so if I understood the description properly, and if I can work out how to get them out of their packaging. Ah, there we go. Plastic sheet over it. Oh, that's that off. So hopefully that and that are the same thing. Now all I've got to do is get these onto there. That's about the best view I can get you at the moment. This is where they're going. One there and one there. I've said before, I don't really know what I'm doing here. This is just my approximation of guessing. I'm going to put some flux onto there. So I'll just try to add some leaded solder to that and hope that I end up with leaded solder in all the right places. I honestly don't know how you do this and how do you end up with the right amount in all the right places. I just don't know. So I'm just hoping for the best here. That looks like I might have got a reasonable amount of solder in different places. Right, hopefully you can see that's where I'm going to put these, and as far as I can tell you don't have a choice of which way round they go. I think they are marked to make sure you put them on the right way round, but judging by the look of them I don't really have a great deal of choice, because that big pad goes there and that has got to reach across to there. So that one seems to have to go there, and this one seems to have to go about there. Right, I've put my eye loop magnifier things on so that I can see a little bit better, but whether that will be a help or a hindrance, I don't know. But I'm always worried with these sorts of things that what's going to happen is you're going to cook the components before the solder melts. This first one's not too bad because it's sitting reasonably okay already, but the one behind it is sitting all lopsided, so it's a job to understand how that's ever going to sit on there straight. Now, I don't see how the LED next to these is going to survive this. I don't really see how they're going to survive this, but still. I possibly should be poking and prodding them, but I just don't dare, so I'm going to leave them like that, let that cool off and see what happens. I'm going to use a little bit of IPA to have a bit of a clean round. This is a brush from a Dremel. Right, I'm assuming that this micro switch helps determine that you've actually assembled the whole thing and got the cover on and everything to use it properly, so I'm just going to put a bit of tape over that so that that's closed. Battery is connected here. Let's hang on to it here and press the button. I hate the way it starts and stops. You start it by pressing it. But it isn't instant. Right, that's the front part back in, but I might have to pull that out yet to get the motor in, I'm not sure. I think that's where that piece of foam went, but again I'm not sure, I need to think about that one. That's where the rest of the foam went, and this one's the same. I'm not sure if that foam was there or there. I may have to go and look up the footage for that, because there's an air vent down there, but there isn't one there. So it would make more sense for this to be in there, like that. But I can't remember because it was quite a while I took this apart, but I'm beginning to think that it would be far more sensible if it was in there like that, because then it would be covering up the air vent. So I need to go and find out about that. But now I think this may have to come out to get the motor back in, so we've just got to work out how all of this lot fits in here, because as you can see it's just a twisted mess at the moment. Somehow this circuit board has got to end up under there, and I can't even begin to work out how that was possible. Yeah, and I'm right about that bit. That's not going to go in there, so that must need to come out. Come on. So that needs to be in there before that can go in there. So we've got that much, and then that must sit down there like that. I hate to admit this, but it has taken me 20 minutes to get all of this back in where I think it goes. Some bits I just cannot get back in properly. That won't. There just doesn't seem to be enough space there for all those wires to sit down, so I'm just hoping that there is enough room for this to go on. And of course the biggest problem here is this thing, because this does not want to go down far enough for this part to slide on. Oh, that's more or less it. Oh! That could be it. It all looks like it's more or less on. I'm actually using a PZ bit when I should be using a PH bit, but I haven't got a PH bit that will reach some of these. That's it. Right, I think they're all in, they're all done up. That's the switch. That should put our lock piece on the front. Is that free to turn? It is. There's our micro switch, which hopefully is going to move. Let's just test that. This will look a bit stupid if it doesn't move. Yeah, that seems to be okay. Right, it came with a couple of new filters, so we might as well put... Is that how they go? Yeah, I think that must be how they go, because then you can squeeze it and pull it out. So that looks like that fits in there. I think that bit goes on there first. And then there we are. We're ready to go. Get some of this stuff out of the way. Let's get a battery. Battery's on. No light. I didn't think the LED would survive. Of course, I've got no way of knowing if the LED worked anyway, but I think even if you're deaf, or fairly deaf, which I am, you can tell this is on. These are a little bit of insulating plastic from motors. I've just chopped them up into small bits. Not much of a test, I know, but let's see if it sucks them up anyway. And it does. This might be a bit of an unfair test, but let's see what it makes of these ball bearings. Oh, look! Good, look up!